There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. Nancy on hiatus, guys. Stick around. Our good buddy Will Link with his link to the movies. Actually, your link to the movies. And
everyone's linked to the movies.
Everyone's linked to the movies. Will, what are we going to be talking about today?
There's only one thing to talk about. Bond.
Of course.
James Bond.
James Bond. Shaken, not stirred. We're going to find out all about it. Huge box office hit. So we're going to find out what the latest installment would bring. On the line right now, though, guys, we do have legendary comedian and probably most notably for his opening performances for Frank Sinatra. This guy has been around the world, and I'll tell you, he's got a lot of stories to share. Tom Dreesen. Tom's on the line. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Tommy, hi, Tommy.
But you're supposed to say Dreesen. Tom Dreesen.
Yeah, like Bond. James Bond.
Exactly. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, do you drink martini? You don't drink, Tommy.
No, I have a beer once in a while.
You do?
Well, you know, all those years, as you pointed out, traveling with Sinatra, you stayed up till dawn. You know, I was ready for the Betty Ford Clinic after the first 3 years.
Yeah, with all the caffeine. I mean, I'm surprised you slept at all.
Yeah. But, you know, I tried that. I always thought that was so sexy. You say Bond, James Bond, to a girl.
Yeah.
So I tried that in the bar one night, and I said, Dreesen, Tom Dreesen. She said, dead. Drop dead.
That's funny. Have you seen, by any chance, the new Bond movie?
No, I haven't. I heard it was real good, though.
Oh, I heard it's awesome. You know, to me, it's very hard to replace Sean Connery. I mean, that was the guy that started it, and I mean, he's my man.
He was the best.
Yeah, I like Roger Moore too. You know,
yeah. Well, Roger Moore was our family. He was great. But anyway, so you got anything to talk about? I mean,
no, I have nothing. That's it.
You have nothing. So see you later. That's it. Bye, Tommy.
I like that skin commercial that you're doing. It said, "I love your line." Believe me, you try this when you wake up, and you won't be afraid to look.
All right,
in the mirror.
don't knock my products. Listen, so I caught you on the Letterman show. You are just fantastic.
Thank you. That's
and
fun.
You are a very, very, very. You're my two favorite comedians in the whole world are you and that nut Don Rickles, and
I'm working with him next Saturday.
Are you really?
At the Fontainebleau.
God.
In Florida.
So how do you do it with him? I mean, he's so crazy. And
well, we're doing a thing for Donnie Sofer. It's kind of a corporate, private. Donnie, who owned Turnberry and also owned the Fontainebleau. It's a surprise. Donnie doesn't know it. I hope this show doesn't go to Miami.
Yeah, it does. It goes all over the world.
Oh, great. Well, we just blew it.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's hope he doesn't hear. But so tell me something. I'm curious because I've seen you perform many times, and I've watched you a lot with Frank, and I've worked with Frank. And I asked you one night, Tom, are you nervous? And you looked at me and you said, I don't get nervous. Well, I agree. You don't get nervous. You're a cool cucumber. But when you go on and you do a show like with Rickles, is there a lot of preparation? Do you have to make notes? And
when I do, yeah. First of all, like any other comedian, when I first started out, you get those nerves before the show and the pressure in the earlier days. This is my 45th year in show business. I've been doing it a long time, but I read every book I could find on positive mental attitude. I read literally hundreds of books on the powers of the mind. And today, I actually give motivation speeches for corporate America. I do it at universities, USC, Cal State Northridge, UCLA. I've given these motivation speeches, even in colleges and high schools, as well as corporate America. But I wanted to overcome that. I wanted to enjoy this performing. I've seen so many entertainers, Milton Berle being one who'd, become like a crazed man just before the show. And if I had to throw up, 2 shows a night, every night of my career, I wouldn't want to be in this business,
No.
So I wanted to learn how I could go out there and enjoy myself. So I began to use these principles until today it has become second nature to me now. I will admit there are some shows more pressure. I did as you know, 61 appearances on the Tonight Show. The first Tonight Show, there's no describing the nerves of that. The first time I opened for Frank in front of 20,000 people in an arena, these are 20,000 people who didn't come to see me.
Did you have Depends diapers on that night?
But I tell you, with the whoever that guy is with the rim shot, tell him that I'm not.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, tell him this isn't Slappy White. We quit doing that in 1920.
Yeah. No, I mean 20,000 people.
Well, the assignment is you say, Larry, here's what I want you to do. There's, when the first time I went to an arena was Nassau Coliseum with Frank. Of the 14 years I toured with him, we did a lot of Vegas and Atlantic City and stuff like that. But we did a lot of arenas, the big 20,000 seat arenas. And so the assignment, you'd say, Larry, here's what I want you to do. It's 5 minutes before the show now. Larry, I want you to go out there and I want you to stand in the middle of the arena in front of 20,000 people. They'll be all around you. It's in the round. And for the next 45 minutes, I want you to hold their attention. 20,000 people. And say, no, one more thing, Larry. I want you to not only hold their attention, I want you to make them laugh for 45 minutes. Oh, one more thing, Larry. I want you to hold their attention and make them laugh. I want you to make them laugh when you want them to laugh. I want you to pull the strings on the emotions of 20,000 people. No props, no tricks, no charts, no special arrangement, no orchestra, nothing. Just you and 20,000 people. And one more thing, Larry, not one of them came to see you.
Oh, man. Geez, talk about pressure.
But it's true. He's the opening act, and he can't steal it away from anybody.
Well, you couldn't do it if you wanted. You couldn't steal anything from Frank. He was so great. But, I mean, my point is, those kind of shows would give you a little bit of pressure, and you would feel the pressure. But as time went by, even that became a joy. After my first Tonight Show, the first Tonight Show was the same way. The pressure on that first Tonight Show in 1975, wherever you went in America, people say, what do you do for a living? You say, I'm a stand-up comedian. The next question out of their mouth is, oh, yeah, have you ever been on Johnny Carson? No, have you ever been on Johnny Carson?
Oh.
And so in the eyes of America in 1975, you might want to be a comedian. You might going to be one, but if you hadn't been on Carson, you weren't one. So the pressure to do that first show, when you did it, there were 15 million people watching that show in those days. So there was a lot of pressure on that first appearance. After that, it became, easier and easier each time I did it, But I think every entertainer should get a little bit anxious. I don't call it nervous because that's kind of a negative connotation. I think just a little bit anticipatory.
Well, whatever you have, you make it work for yourself. But when you did these shows, and I know you did many, did you ever forget like a joke? Like you say, well, and you do the lead in, and then you blank.
Well, rarely, because. I rarely that happened, but if that ever happened, an old comedian many years ago, Maury Amsterdam, gave me some advice. He said, if you ever go up on your lines, and for those who are listening to you who don't understand actors talk, going up on your lines means forgetting.
Yeah.
He said, if you ever go up on your lines when you're on stage, he said, just keep talking and let your brain catch up. He said, if you stand there and you go, that's when it gets worse. He said, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Saying, anyhow, so it was raining when I was on my way in here, and because it was raining so hard, I couldn't hardly get. Oh yeah, marijuana or whatever it is you're talking about.
Okay.
Your brain will catch up if you just keep talking.
Wow.
Well, Tom, hang in there, buddy. We're going to a quick break. We'd love to talk to you some more. We do have listeners on the line wanting to ask you questions. Sure. Hang in there, Tom. We'll be back right here on the PM Show with Larry Manetti. And, of course, we'll link with your link to the movies coming up on the 40 segment. So, guys, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Manetti. 21st Pet Nutrition has a new Facebook page. Please check out their page and blog for up-to-the-moment facts, tips, and happenings with 20